I love New York, but I also know when something is no longer good for my spirit. This move is not just about leaving a city. It's about choosing myself.
If you're new here, my name is Ashante, and this is Digital Dreams by Tay. In this video, I'm answering a question I know a lot of people are going to ask. Why did I leave New York City and move all the way to Bangkok, Thailand? Because from the outside, it might look sudden. And honestly, it kind of was. I came up with this idea about a month before leaving. So no, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I had the perfect plan, a huge emergency fund, and every single detail figured out. I didn't, but I knew something had to change. New York is not just some random city to me. I was born and raised here. I grew up in the Bronx until I was 17. Then I lived in Brooklyn for years. Then I moved back to the Bronx for a while because honestly, the Bronx always had my heart. And after that, I ended up in Harlem. So when I say I'm leaving New York, I'm not talking about leaving a place I barely know. I'm talking about leaving home. New York shaped me. It made me strong. It made me independent. It taught me how to hustle, how to survive, how to figure things out even when life is chaotic. But survival can become exhausting when it becomes your whole identity. At some point, I had to ask myself, am I actually living, or am I just working, paying bills, recovering from stress, and repeating the same cycle over and over again? New York is beautiful, but it is stressful. The cost of living is high, rent is high, food is high, everything feels expensive. And it started to feel like no matter how hard I worked, I was still just keeping up. I have a strong work ethic. I know how to work. I know how to push through. I know how to make things happen. But working all the time just to survive is not the same thing as building a life. It starts to affect your health. It affects your body. It affects your mind. It affects your spirit. And I could feel that happening to me. I gained weight. My routine was off. My health wasn't where I wanted it to be. I was tired. I was overwhelmed. And emotionally, I knew I needed a reset. I didn't want my whole life to be about bills, stress, and trying to keep my head above water. I wanted peace. I wanted healing. I wanted a better quality of life.
I want to show y'all one of the reasons why I want to leave New York. Trash, garbage, it's nasty. Yeah, and gentrification is happening in this neighborhood. Yeah, so gentrification is happening. You think I know? I think I know what's the plan with Trump. I think he wants to move out all the people of color, right? All immigrants, right? White people gonna move into y'all neighborhoods. What do you think about smoke? And then, right? There's nobody gonna be working the farm. So then black people don't have to work the farms. Like back when slavery was happening. I don't know. Tell me your thoughts on that. Comment down below. Tell me your thoughts. I think that's what's going on. I've seen evidence of this also.
This move is not just about money. Yes, Thailand has a lower cost of living. Yes, I wanted a better quality of life. But the deeper reason is healing. I've been through a lot in New York. I lost my mother when I was 17. I've had family trauma, relationship changes, emotional stress, years of trying to survive. And sometimes a place can hold memories that your body still feels, even when your mind is trying to move forward. New York will always be part of me, but I also realized that if I stayed in the same environment, doing the same things, living under the same pressure, I might keep getting the same results. And I didn't want that anymore. I wanted to wake up somewhere new. I wanted to build a routine. I wanted to go to the gym. I wanted to journal. I wanted to breathe. I wanted to feel like my life belonged to me again. So why Thailand? For me, Thailand represented possibility, a lower cost of living, a higher quality of life, warmer weather, a slower pace, a chance to live somewhere that felt new but still had city energy. Bangkok reminds me of New York in some ways. The buildings, the traffic, the movement, the energy. But it also felt like a place where I could breathe a little more. And the more research I did, the more I started to feel like this was possible. I could teach English. I could still build online income. I could keep my New York real estate license. I could create content. I could rebuild my life in a way that didn't feel like constant survival. And yes, of course, my 2 cats were coming with me. Because if I'm starting over, Onyx and Skylar are starting over too. Now let me be very clear. I am not telling everybody to just wake up, pick a country, and move in a month. Please do your research. Please plan. Please understand visas, money, housing, healthcare, pets, documents, all of that. But I also know that sometimes we wait forever for the perfect time. And sometimes the perfect time never comes. For me, I had to make a decision with the information and resources I had at the time. Was everything perfect? No. Did I have a giant emergency fund? No. Was my apartment completely organized? Absolutely not.
Let me show you a peek of what I'm trying to take here. Which I think might be too much because I only got 2 suitcases in the... But, you get what I'm saying? We got like multiple pairs of shoes in there. I gotta take my teaching English prompts and stuff like this also. But we're gonna try to squeeze it in. This is what we're gonna try to do. And then we'll make some adjustments. Leaving in 7 days. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna miss New York City. I really ain't got no friends here, so probably got like 2 friends.
My apartment was chaos. Clothes everywhere, shoes everywhere, suitcases packed to the brim, decorations I wanted to take, hair products, teaching materials, travel papers, cat documents, everything. I was trying to fit my whole life into a few bags, and let me tell you, that is emotional. Because packing is not just packing. You start looking at your clothes, your shoes, your pictures, your decorations, your memories, and you realize how much you've been carrying, physically and emotionally. Before leaving, I was selling what I could and donating what I couldn't sell. I had so many clothes, so many shoes, so much stuff. I had already gotten rid of a lot of sneakers, Jordans, Nikes, all kinds of shoes. And then I still had bags and suitcases full of clothes. I was taking clothes to Buffalo Exchange, and whatever they didn't take, I would donate. And because I don't drive, I had to carry heavy suitcases on the train. That part was not glamorous at all.
Ready for no Buffalo Exchange on 26th Street. Penn Station.
It was stressful, it was tiring, it was chaotic, but it was also part of the process. Because when you're starting over, you can't take everything with you. At some point, you have to decide, what is actually coming with me into this next chapter? And what am I finally ready to leave behind? Even though I'm leaving New York, I'm still keeping my New York real estate license. Real estate is still part of my story. I can still help with New York referrals. I can still stay connected to the industry. And long term, I still want real estate to be part of my bigger vision. But this channel is becoming something more personal. Digital Dreams by Tay is going to be about my New York to Bangkok journey, life in Thailand, teaching English, real estate, money, healing, starting over, and answering the real questions people have when they're thinking about moving abroad. How much does it cost? What visa do you need? Can you move with cats? What is Bangkok really like? Is it scary to start over? I want this channel to be honest, not fake perfect. Not everything is easy, but real. Because starting over is exciting, but it is also scary. So why did I leave New York for Thailand? Because I wanted more than survival. I wanted peace. I wanted healing. I wanted a better quality of life. I wanted to know what my life could look like if I stopped making every decision from stress and fear. New York shaped me. New York made me strong. But now, I'm choosing something different. I'm choosing a new beginning. If you've ever felt stuck, exhausted, or like there has to be more to life than working all the time, I hope this journey reminds you that you're allowed to want more too. You're allowed to start over. You're allowed to choose peace. You're allowed to build a life that feels better. This is my new beginning. Next stop, Bangkok.
Let me show y'all how to get something down the stairs, but it gotta be something you really don't care about. That, right? Hey, you throw it down like that. And that's how you get everything down. I'm not gonna do that to the suitcase though, but I'm just saying, too hot, too hot.